Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Contrary to how I usually talk about boy groups on this channel, I thought it would be fun to switch it up and talk about girl group songs that I really like. I casually stan and follow a lot of different girl groups, especially underrated ones, and my playlists are absolutely full of their songs. And even though my streaming stats absolutely represent this, I haven't exactly flaunted this side of my music taste on my channel before. In this video specifically, we're only focusing on underrated girl groups, so anything from the big three, Hybe, or like Starship is not going to be on this list. And yes, that includes WJSN. They are not Nugu, at least in my heart. And I think that just about wraps up this intro, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So I definitely wouldn't call Promise 9 as a group underrated anymore. They have absolutely escaped Nugudom, and I could not be more happy for them. But they absolutely were still in that zone back when they released DK, and it has caused this song to be overshadowed, so I'd call DK underrated. And what a shame that their best title track is also one of their least popular, because DK is just the peak of cute girl group music. It's like if you took Weekly's sound besides their most recent comeback, and the sound that Old Twice had, and then combined the best parts of both of them to create DK. Something that seems to bug me about cute girl group concepts is that the music tends to be set in a really high key, which makes the girls' voices sound very strained, but there's absolutely none of that here in DK. Usually heavy repetition within lyrics gets kind of boring fast for me, but since the voices of the girls sound so nice here, I don't get tired of DK ever, even though the chorus is essentially just repeating the same lyrics like 30 times in a row. Something about the pure joy in their voices while they're talking about how fast their heart is beating is so infectious, and I'm really glad that I love this song as much as I do, because I feel like if I hated it, I would be such a killjoy. In a weird way, this song kind of reminds me of a mix between Tag Me and After School by Weekly, and if it was released this year, I could definitely see it getting the same sort of viral attention that After School did. Even though I love a majority of Promise 9's more recent title tracks, the one exception is Talk and Talk, I don't think anything is ever going to top DK for me. DM actually did come close, but not quite, because the mastery that is DK is just too delicious to me. I love it so much. If all Girl Crush sounded like Dramatic by Bvndit, then nobody would ever complain about the genre. I could probably have 50 different girl groups release remastered versions of this song, and I would add them all to my playlist. Because Dramatic is a piece of music that you never get bored of no matter how many times you listen to it. And I think the biggest reason for this is how consistently strong the chorus stays, even though it's almost 50 seconds in runtime. It's split into two parts, both of which are over 20 seconds long, and it truly does emphasize that the chorus is the main focus of Dramatic. For me personally, even if my favorite part of the song isn't the chorus is always what sticks with me the longest. So Dramatic has a lot of longevity for me considering the tremendous amount of music that exists within the chorus. Like seriously, it might be the longest chorus I've ever seen in K-pop. And both parts are so good. You have a really solid and easy to understand first half with a beat drop, and then a super powerful vocally focused second half, which keeps the chorus from becoming boring despite its runtime because the two parts are very heavily contrasted. I've streamed this song a crazy amount of times, but it deserves every single stream that it's gotten because the quality is just immaculate. Like, I can't describe it. It might sound like a joke when I say this, but I'm being completely serious. Momoland have one of the best discographies out of third-gen girl groups, and people just don't listen to their B-sides. People only really know their title tracks, and those same people have gotten bored of the group because all of their music sounds quote-unquote the same, but when you only listen to their title tracks, that's like a fifth of their discography. And those people are really missing out on all of the mastery that lies within the rest of their music because there is so much diversity, so much quality, like, it makes me so mad. I can absolutely understand why people don't like their title tracks, don't get me wrong. But what I don't get is how people could dislike songs like Verivery, Same, Bingo Game, Holiday, Merry-Go-Round, the list goes on, it really does. But people don't dislike these songs, they've just never heard them before, and that's upsetting. Because if people actually took the time to listen to the rest of their music, they would have a much better reputation when it comes to their artistry. So what I'm trying to say is that Momoland deserve better. Thank you. Now this one is too good. I don't know how this song, I Don't Miss You, didn't shoot WOA into immediate fame because it is too amazing to still be so underrated. If I had to pick one song that sounds like the words Girl Next Door, it would be I Don't Miss You. Does that make sense? Like, the music just embodies that idea if you understand what I'm trying to say. One specific instance that I want to point out is the rap. I think whoever has the deep voice in this group has an amazing tone. In a lot of girl groups, and even boy groups honestly, there tends to be a member who's the rapper who has like a quote-unquote deep voice, but it kind of just sounds forced, but I don't get any of that from her. I also just love the bass within the instrumental. It's so strong for such a soft song, but I feel like it adds a sense of energy, like a feeling of momentum or direction, which keeps my attention throughout the entire thing. I would talk about the phenomenal pre-chorus and chorus, but I think you should just listen to it yourself and you'll understand why I like it so much. The vibes are just immaculate, and I hope we can enter a period of time where we never have to call WOA underrated again. I never realized this, but Pinky Star is actually one of the most overhated Nugu girl group songs I've ever come across. For some reason, whenever this song comes into discussion, there's always a 50-50 split on people that absolutely love it and people that absolutely despise it. Thankfully though, I have taste and I love this song to bits. It might sound weird, but my favorite part to listen to within this song is actually the dance break. It's so satisfying, I guess. The rest of the song is great too, but that dance break has an intensity to it that is very rare to hear. And if the instrumental is absolutely fantastic, you don't always need vocals to back it up. Take notes, wadada. Was the music video kind of horrid? Yes, but they had $2 in a dream, so I give them a free pass. And the music was and is still good, so I think that makes up for it. I think people were just threatened by GWSN and their immaculate discography, so when they released a title track that didn't seem to resonate with a lot of people, they did not relent on bashing this song. And it was undeserved because Pinky Star is great and I don't understand what the rest of you don't like about it. Let me introduce you to one of the most underrated second-gen Nugu girl groups that people have never heard of, Spica. And if you're a fan of Mamamoo, I.O.I, or any of the girls like that, this group is for you. I know the phrase, oh, people don't sing in 4th gen and only 2nd gen and 3rd gen vocalists were good is so overdone, but Spica truly just do embody that phrase. This sort of jazz, funk, badass but not girl crush sound that they're doing is only made that much more powerful by how good their voices sound. And this was back in the time when they didn't force a rap into every single girl group song. There's nothing bad about it. Until you listen to this song, you will not understand how powerful these high notes are, I swear. 1 second you can be listening to this song and you blink and then it's the next day, you don't even know what happened. That's how powerful their voices are, I am not exaggerating. Sadly, Spica are disbanded, but you should support the duo that 2 of the members formed called Kimbo because their music is also great. But before you do, check out Secret Time, it is worth your while, I guarantee you. Hopefully none of you thought I was going to make a video about underrated girl groups and not include Weki Meki because then that just wouldn't be me. I'm trying to push these girls into stardom before Fantagio gives up on them. We are racing with the clock at this point. La La La, while still being one of Weki Meki's less good title tracks, is still a masterpiece. And I'm going to say the thing. I'm going to say the annoying thing that every single Nugu stan ever has said before. If this was released by a big 3 group, it would have gone platinum. They have guitar, they have brass, they have drums, they have bass in the instrumental, what else could you want? And this pre-chorus, let me tell you, right before each of the 3 different choruses, they do a different vocal run and it sounds so cool. Weki Meki's vocal is truly so underrated. And when that chorus does hit, it's one of the strongest things you'll ever listen to. It has that oomph that you need. Them and WJSN are the last standing post I.O.I groups, guys. We have to work together to save them. WJSN are on Queendom right now, so they're fine, but we need to focus our attention on Weki Meki right now and get them a comeback. Guys, I'm serious. You need to work together with me on this, or else I don't know what's gonna happen to them, and I'm very scared. Groups with La 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 in their discography do not deserve to disband. We cannot let anything bad happen to them. Please, please, I'm begging you. Come on. Save Weki Meki. And that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and make sure to let me know some girl group songs that you think deserve better in the comment section below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.